I used to play Clash Royale a lot when it came out too, but over the years I noticed things started changing, and I'm assuming this video is going to go over that. So
Players are deleting Clash Royale. Thousands more are intentionally avoiding buying the Pass Royale. Content creators are boycotting the game, and every social media platform is filled with posts poking fun at Clash Royale for releasing its worst update in history. An update that will serve as a straw that breaks the camel's back. It's been 2 years, and at long last, everyone's had enough. Clash Royale have brazenly decided to strike at the very heart of the player base, even the most loyal and biggest spenders, by cutting the value of the Pass Royale and Diamond Pass Royale in half whilst increasing the price of evolutions. Furthermore, if you're a free-to-play player, good luck in locking everything because the free version of the Pass Royale has been nerfed into oblivion. Meanwhile, chests, the hallmark of progression in Clash Royale, are no more, with the removal of those chests being so catastrophic to the point where
they
new
removed
players are
chests.
encountering issues with advancing through
Yo,
the
can anyone like confirm that, by the way? Because I haven't opened the game in ages. I remember when they first introduced the battle pass, that was already a change, but what I remember specifically that I didn't like is how they added the battle pass, but then they added the premium battle pass. They reduced the amount of items you get in the regular base one, and the premium one was actually just pay to win. I believe you can unlock heroes at certain arena levels, but they're mostly for like higher up, like, you know, arenas. On my alt account, like arena 7 or some shit like that, I was already going against some dudes that had like the Archer Queen and shit. And you're not even able to get the Archer Queen at Arena 8 or 7. I don't understand. Like, I feel like Clash Royale as a whole, Archer Queen is ass, sure, but it's the fact that you have the hero in the first place while other players at that arena don't have the chance to even get that. The only possible way you get it is if you actually pay for the premium battle pass, which is also an absurd statement, by the way. Premium battle pass, you pay $12. I think it was $12. $12 instead of how much was it? $4, 5 or something for the regular battle pass. And then on top of that, this guy just said that they nerfed the base free-to-play pass. So I don't know. I think it's kind of BS. All that evolution crap too, absolutely terrible.
tutorial and actually playing in the game for the first time, because the removal of chests means that they can't unlock the 8 card required.
When was this vid made? 6 days ago. It's relatively new. Every card has an evolution. Yeah. Did you see that they actually had the evolution for the Zap? It's crazy. They have a Mega Knight evolution. They have like a Snowball evolution. They have so much. But like, I remember back I say back in the day, but again, it's only a couple years ago. But I remember that you could, as a free to play, you could actually get up to like 2 to 3 evolution shards if you played your cards right every month. But now I don't think you can even do it. Cash Royale. That's actually really funny.
To begin playing
Cash
the game.
Royale.
Even worse, the season shop, arguably the best way for free-to-play and even pay-to-play players alike to progress through the game, was removed from it. A singular shop in of itself was holding up progression for millions of players, and without that lifeline, people see no reason to invest their time.
Dude, what is that? League 6? I've never seen that before.
Into the game anymore. You could get 3 evolution shards a month if you played your cards right, and now that opportunity is gone for good. Remaining loyal to the game is worthless, spending your money on the game is worthless, even playing in the game is worthless.
You know, I actually heard that there's a big boycott happening with Clash Royale right now. Is that true? Can anyone verify that? Dude, people have been complaining about Clash Royale for the longest time, but I think this might be really it. I'm not even joking.
Years ago, the funeral bells were ringing for the game, and now this lifeless corpse is finally being lowered into the grave that it has brazenly avoided at long last, even if it's costed people hundreds or even thousands of dollars across the years. For a game once so beloved by its community, it can be hard for most who have played the game during its earlier days to believe that it would end up here. Unfortunately, the fate for Clash Royale has been a long time coming.
New update nerf stuff for day-to-day players and people who buy. Okay, but let's be honest, bro. People who buy, you're not winning either. I mean, you're just losing at that point. If you make the conscious decision to pay money to Clash Royale, you're paying into the system that broke the game for everyone in the first place. Nobody wants half of the things that they've implemented over the past couple years, and I'm pretty sure the balance changes that go along with it, or the balance of the cards, are not in a good state from what I remember. Maybe they changed some stuff though. I haven't opened the game in a long time, but I feel like a lot of players, like the decisions that they've made, it's kind of isolated half of their player base.
Some would say that this was inevitable. If you're familiar with my content on the Clash Royale, I'm sure you're aware of the rhetoric surrounding several updates, those being Clan Wars 2.0, the update for losers, level 15 evolutions alongside
Wait, did they say update for losers?
Lucky
What?
Drop update. If you're someone who hasn't played the update for losers surrounding several updates, those being Clan Wars 2.0, the update for losers, level
Update for losers? What is that? What? What the hell is that? 2 years ago. An update for losers? This update contains changes to how matches are rewarded as well as the pass royale. So this is the update that destroyed the game. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Diamond pass, bro. Gold pass and then a diamond pass.
level 15 evolutions alongside the Lucky Drop update. If you're someone who hasn't played the game for a while and has stumbled upon this video, allow me to briefly explain these updates to you and why they're frowned upon. Clan Wars 2.0 replaced the faster paced and more communal aspect of the original Clan Wars with a boat race where you can race other clans to the finish line for rewards by completing a multitude of tasks. The original Clan Wars was a successor to the Clan Chest, which was pretty much the Clan Wars 2.0 system but more simplified, only requiring you to earn chests through battles for your clan and nothing else. This update ruined the progression of pacing for most free-to-play players and casual clans, overcomplicating things whilst also being filled with bugs and exploits upon launch. Not only that, it required dedicating a significant amount of time to Clash Royale even if you weren't playing it casually, which can become repetitive after a while, especially if the rewards honestly aren't worth it. The update for losers was a good update on paper, rewarding you even if you had lost a battle. What wasn't so amazing was how they nerfed the pass row and diamond pass row with it.
I hated the diamond pass. I hated the implementation of that because the diamond pass was actually the most pay to win shit back in the day. This is the shit that actually turned me off of the game. Like I feel like around the diamond pass, when that was like a thing, it kind of pushed me away because of the stuff that it gives you. The diamond pass is genuinely pay to win. I'm not even joking.
Removing a lot of the magic items and free resources from it whilst making the free version of the pass roll significantly worse. This was arguably the start of Clash Royale becoming exceptionally revenue driven as opposed to ensuring the game is a fun experience for everyone. Level 15, otherwise known as the elite level, is the update that has created the majority of the noise amongst the game's player base. Level 15 introduced elite wildcards which can only be unlocked through spending your money, gems or gold, or by getting duplicate cards that you'd already maxed out at level 14. You would usually receive these from chests or recently lucky drops. Clash Royale straight up misled people with this update, saying that they would be free to upgrade to, but at the cost of needing to grind for or pay for a new currency to get those level 14 cards up to level 15.
Royale.
This update is the most talked about because people don't like it. Evolutions came alongside level 15, and although they were an exceptionally good game mechanic in concept, they were introduced with an exceptionally high price tag.
I don't like evolutions. I cannot for the life of me stand behind it. Even if you say it's a good game concept, because it changes up the formula of the original characters, I feel like evolutions are a little bit too much. Then they're a little bit too broken as well. Especially like at the beginning, dude. When the Firecracker, I think Firecracker was not the first one. I think it was one of the first ones, or it was one of the earlier ones, I'll say that. Firecracker was really OP. It's actually really OP for the evolutions. Evolutions are cool until they made them too OP. They've always been OP. What are you talking about? They've literally always been OP. As soon as they introduced the first evolution card in the game, the whole meta started changing. And now I think you can have two, right? 2 evolutions per deck. And like Marquise was saying, every single card basically has an evolution. Just about. Like I said, the balance on them is ridiculous. Not to mention, I believe it was around this time that they took out 2v2 chests as well. Just saying. So if there was already something to not like about, if there wasn't already something to not like about the update, they removed chests from 2v2 game mode as well. That's what I hated a lot, because I genuinely, I can climb the ladder, but I also like doing 2v2s with friends or family. But the fact that they remove chests, your ability to actually get chests from that just, bro, that turned me off completely. Also, yeah, not to mention what the guy is already saying right now, the price is insane for it too. It's ridiculous.
Overpowered.
Bro does 2v2 with his dog. No, I did it with my cousin actually. I did 2v2 with you too. What are you talking about?
For the first 2 to 4 weeks of being implemented before being nerfed after you had spent your money on those evolution packs and later the Diamond Pass Royale. The evolutions aren't seen favourably because they can be exceptionally unfair to free-to-play players or new players that are climbing through the ladder in the game.
So you hear that? I feel like this is what I was talking about with the Diamond Pass too. Exceptionally unfair to free-to-play players. On my alt account, even though you might say, oh, Archer Queen is ass, why am I versing somebody who has the ability to get a card that my account, that's free to play by the way, cannot even obtain until I reach the higher arenas? How is that even fair? And it's not even just the Archer Queen. L, excuse your ass. No, I'm not. Okay, bro.
Finally, the Lucky Drop update was previously seen as a positive update, at least until it was released and they found out that the chances of you getting anything good were nerfed dramatically. Furthermore, it laid the foundation for what the game would become today, an RNG dictated mess where you have to gamble by investing your time in the hopes of getting something good enough to the point where you progress through the game organically. Now that you're all caught up with the updates and know the context, you can truly appreciate how greedy alongside ignorant a lot of these updates are. Playing Clash Royale since the introduction of level 15 has slowly but surely become a less tolerable experience of every evolution that's been released. Fair matchmaking in the game simply doesn't exist anymore, and the game is known to purposely punish you if you don't spend your money on the game by pairing you up with higher level opponents or a hard counter to your deck. Furthermore, Clash Royale just straight up scam you with every Pass Royale and Diamond Pass Royale purchase that you make, allowing you to have a month or two of euphoria with a broken evolution only to snatch it away from you and turn it into just another evolution neatly in time for the release of their next evolution.
Okay, so that part about it, I wouldn't know because I didn't pay for that and I stopped playing the game around that time. But this is actually one of the same, not I wouldn't say the same, but this is a similar problem to what Clash of Clans actually has right now, where you have maybe a good equipment that releases and is really OP on release, but then it gets nerfed later on. And because the ore system is so dog shit in that game, it's kind of like a big, waste of time to farm to level it up, only for them to nerf it in the long run. Like, it's not that the equipment can be unusable, but I mean, you look at something like a Giant Gauntlet, which was overused a lot, right? Giant Gauntlet got nerfed and stuff. The usage rate for Giant Gauntlet is way down now. But some of these things are like, if you have the ability to nerf with balance changes or buff with balance changes, you should change the way you get the ores to level them up, because it's so time consuming and it takes a lot of investment for a lot of these equipment. Now this is just Clash of Clans, but for Clash Royale, if they nerfed, for example, an evolution after you paid all that absurd money to get it, I could see how that's a little bit deflating.
If you thought that's bad, you should see some of the prices of the packs that are promoted in that.
Like, I'm all for balance changes, but I don't like it when Supercell decides to nerf a troop so much that it's almost like unusable, or it basically just kills it. This doesn't apply to Supercell. This applies to any game that applies balance changes and stuff.
Item shop, as well as the multiplayer
any live service game, basically.
There have been countless examples over the years of Clash Royale purposely inflating the value of what the magic items are worth purely because obtaining them as a free-to-play player has become borderline impossible. Clash Royale would be so much better.
Also, yeah, look at this horrid sale. 10 times value for one book? $27.99, bro. I don't even know what this book does, but I feel like, let's be real, it's not, I don't think it's a 10 times value.
A free-to-play player has become borderline impossible. Clash Royale would be so much better if all the items that were charged for were cosmetic instead of directly affecting the gameplay, but they've decided to go against that and instead create one of the most egregious methods of monetizing the game that I've ever seen from a mobile game. All of this focus on ruining the progression in the game, monetizing it with evolutions and magic items that would definitely influence the way you play the game, isn't healthy, because all it does is create a desire to have the next broken evolution that burns out quickly instead of slowly. This decision to focus purely on profit instead of making the gameplay more enjoyable has broken any sense of competitive strategy in the game, with most of the gameplay now revolving around how broken the latest evolution is as opposed to utilizing skill. Clash Royale have had multiple opportunities to rectify the issues with the game, but they've refused to do such a thing, opting for the cheap and easy way of making money from the dwindling amount of players that actually care about the game and those who are newer and are used to mobile games being an absolute cash grab.
Also, if I know he's already alluding to it, but the amount of things that they want you to buy in Clash Royale is insane to me. Like you can log into the game and they immediately want you to buy all these different packages that they're offering on sale right now. Like it's ridiculous. And I hope he talks about it. I'm sure he will, but one of the updates they also added the ability to change the character on top of your king's tower. Like they have like the cannoneer or something like that to replace the archer that defends your tower. There's basically a whole bunch of different characters that do that. And I heard one of them was pretty broken too, but I was not a fan of that change either. I don't know. It feels like they try to make implementations to the game that are like game changing or broken in a certain way, and it just destroys the rest of like the foundation of the game, if that makes sense. Like you're ruining everything that you did to get you to this point.
Clash Royale's decision to remove the season shop from the game, increase prices of the evolutions by twice the amount, nerf the pass rail by 50% and remove chests, just goes to show that we're reaching the final stage of what Clash Royale wishes to be, and that's nothing more than a gacha game that has you gambling your money for things that are ultimately worthless, for vanity that isn't earned and bought, and for honor and prestige that isn't worth your time. If you really want an example of this, you can just take a look at the leaderboards of the game. There's this one guy dominating the game at the moment, most likely boosting his way up there and paying his way to remain at the top. And when I look at it, just a crippling amount of sadness washes over me, because you could be doing so much more with your time and actually enjoying your time, and instead you're sitting with 4 accounts at the top of the leaderboards in a glorified tower defense game that's become a gambler's wet dream. There's nothing to work for anymore. There's nothing to be excited for. If a game's ability to be fun just revolves around you spending money instead of earning things, is it really a game, or is it just a glorified gambling simulator with a tower defense game loosely related to the Clash of Clans universe that happens to be affiliated with it? On multiple occasions, I have observed a very definitive pattern of Clash Royale following the outline of a sine wave in regards to some of the updates they've introduced and released in the past. If we go back in time a bit to when level 14 was introduced to the game, Clash Royale introduced an event called Slash Royale before then, where many of your card upgrades were cut in half so you could hoard your gold and upgrade the cards you really needed to up to level 13. This update just lulled you into a sense of false security, thinking that at long last you were going to be enjoying your cards at the max level and then you'd finally be evenly matched against your opponents, only to be slapped in the face with the implementation of level 14 a few weeks later, especially when level 14 contains some extremely steep gold requirements and many people had chosen to upgrade all of their cards to level 13 instead of hoarding their gold in anticipation for level 14. I'll give you another example.
Shouldn't I feel like if you have an upgrade in the levels, isn't that something that they would tell you about beforehand though? Like to their defense, and I don't know because you know, it's been a long time and I haven't played the game, but if they did not tell you about it, I feel like that's different than if they let you know like, hey, level 14 is going to come out soon, and in honor of that we're going to be slashing the upgrade costs for the cards. Like in Clash of Clans they do that, right? When they say, hey, Town Hall 17 is coming out, and before it releases, we're going to have Hammer Jam, which basically cuts the costs and time of everything in your village. The update he mentioned was old. They didn't tell anyone about level 14 coming out soon. Oh, well, in that case, I mean, yeah, that's 2020 to 21. Where were you? I don't even remember. I stopped playing the game, bro. It's been a long time. Even in 2020, I was like on and off. I wasn't really ever like, you know, stuck to it, I guess. I think around that time, yeah, that was like COVID time. I definitely didn't play Clash Royale around that time, actually. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But if they didn't say anything, then yeah, that's bad. I get it now.
The update for losers in of itself, although it was already a controversial update because it nerfed the pass rail for the first time in a while, it did have the upside of making it easier to progress in a different manner by initially introducing the season shop and season tokens to buy a select amount of things inside of that shop for each month, which fixed the initial problems of events being more competitive, requiring you to spend gems in order to participate in them, and often having the 3 loss limit, only for level 15 evolutions to come along, with you being required to earn elite wildcards and buy card duplicates alongside evolution shards that were being sold in the shop that, as for now, no longer exists in the game.
I
Clash
hate the
Royale has a
season
habit
shop,
of
bro. I
buttering you up
absolutely
after you've
hated
thought
that.
about the game in a negative manner for a while, only to reveal a more catastrophic update is coming your way. I can keep going with these examples too. The introduction of the lucky drops were initially heavily promoted by Clash Royale's content creators as being extremely beneficial for progression, only for Clash Royale developers to nerf the lucky drop significantly before release, getting people hyped for an update that would have finally countered a steep progression curve that came with level 15, only for that update to barely make a dent in improving the progression system. Time and time again, Clash Royale have promoted positive updates that will aid your progression through the game, and for a
I feel like this image of this king is exactly how the Clash Royale team looks at the player base, basically. Like a huge like screw you, you know?
short amount of time, they'll provide relief and make you think, oh, Clash Royale isn't as bad as I thought it was, only to form a rug pull in many of its players by following up that positive update with an infinitely worse one that offsets any enjoyment that came from it. There's a case that can be made here that Clash Royale is intentionally psychologically manipulating its players, lulling them into that previously mentioned false sense of security by promising a rope out of the grave that these updates pull the game into, only to rip away that rope once you're climbing through it, landing at the bottom of that grave bruised and battered. If they're genuinely doing this, it has to be the scummiest behavior that I've ever seen from a mobile game company.
Who still
Fool me
plays this
once,
game,
shame
though?
on you. Fool
Who
me
still
twice,
plays
shame
Clash
on
Royale
me.
in
But when you're doing
2025?
it for a third or even a fourth time, that goes from being accidental to intentional by way of repetition. I can tell that this is intentional, as this is how Clash Royale makes its money. It has a moment of bliss to pull from the depths of irrelevance and to pluck the nostalgia strings of many people's minds, before then turning around and shoving them into a pack of hungry wolves. This is not a sustainable way to run a game, and eventually Clash Royale will begin falling into a pit of irrelevancy and infamy that it won't recover from. As I said in my last video, I don't see a way Clash Royale comes back from this, and I don't see how they're going to get away with something as foreboding as their death, because that's what these updates have been doing. It's been killing the game right until we're left with what we have today. And what do the developers have to say about this situation? Nothing.
Nothing. They don't mention anything? That's
One of the
crazy.
massive contributing factors to Clash Royale's death just happens to be the radio silence between the community and the developers. At some point, Clash Royale's developers and even the community managers used to tend to the Clash Royale subreddit or leave comments on YouTube videos and other social media content. Nowadays, we have no way to directly talk to them besides boycotting the game and speaking through statistics in the way of them losing money. The developers no longer reply to people or comment on videos criticizing or providing feedback for the game, and honestly, I think that's because they're just ashamed of what they're doing and they don't wish to confront it first. They know their game is hated by a significant amount of the community, so trying to justify anything that they do is...
I feel like with the vast amount of content creators for this game, you would think that they have the opportunity to talk to the developers themselves, no? Like in Clash of Clans, for example, there are many different content creators that actually are able to get interviews with the developers of the game and the team behind the game, and ask about, you know, what's to come, what are ideas that they can implement, or maybe some things that might need to be changed in the game. Um, but I'm surprised they don't have that with Clash Royale. Like, you wouldn't, would you not think that certain content creators or part of the player base would have a chance to be able to talk to developers? Or I mean, I know they leave their feedback, but very clearly from what I see, the team does not really listen to very much feedback. Let's be honest though, the player base of Clash Royale now compared to how it was when it first started is significantly down, I would say. I know there's a huge chunk of the player base that stopped playing the game after some of these absurd updates a couple years ago, and I'm included in it. I don't pay. I mean, playing the game is one thing, but paying for the game is another. I don't know anybody that genuinely still plays Clash Royale in 2025. Clash Royale YouTubers are not going to critique the game that gives them money. Well, I feel like, yeah, they should though. I think that's a double standard there though. See, you can make that argument for the game if the game is doing well. And the reason I say that is because if someone is like sucking up to the developers in the game, I think the audience can very easily call that out, and they could tell, hey, this guy's not really genuine with what he's talking about. He's just sucking up to the developers. He's telling them what they want to hear, but he's not speaking for the people that play the game and telling them, hey, this should go, this should change, undo this or do that, you know. at least listen to the feedback. If you just suck up to the developers with the state of the game that it's in, the game is only going down. It's only getting worse. And at some point, you're going to get to a point where the game is no longer like as well, it already isn't as good as it used to be, but the game is no longer actively popular enough to the point where content creators will get a lot of money playing the game. They can't say that when every YouTuber does the same. Not necessarily. What examples are you talking about? What do you mean? Every YouTuber does the same. Not what YouTubers do you know are sucking up to the Clash Royale team? Can you give me an example of that? Because I can tell, like, for example, you can take OJ. I'm pretty sure he actually does try to talk to the he tries to talk to the Clash Royale team. In Clash Royale, YouTubers most don't suck up, but they do ignore it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause the video where it is. We're gonna finish this, by the way. But I'm gonna tell you that there's a whole bunch of YouTubers that do not do that. I know OJ is still an active member of the community there, but I feel like, look at this. I mean, this is the video we're currently watching, but these three, the worst Clash Royale update of all time, the scariest day in Clash Royale, they killed it. No more chest timers. Okay, well, this is just that's from their actual account. Clash Royale's economy is broken. Every broken card. Oh, okay. Why was it so bad? History of Clash Royale. Like, I didn't even type in anything. I just typed in Clash Royale, and like a lot of these are kind of negative. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like if you're looking at like content, for Clash Royale, it's not necessarily all good. OJ ignoring that shit. From what I understand, and I could be wrong because I don't watch OJ that often. I've only seen some of his videos a couple of times. From what I understand, I believe he's tried to talk to the developers about it, and maybe he did, but it wasn't. I don't think he really got many chances, but I don't know. I know he's still he got really popular on Clash Royale. I know he does a whole bunch of Supercell stuff though. Like, he does Clash of Clans, he does other stuff, but I feel like OJ. I mean, I don't know. I can't really comment on that because I don't watch him too often. But I'm talking about the major people in the community. Well, what are the major YouTubers in Clash Royale community? Because I don't know any other than OJ, really. If you want to say a major YouTuber, I'd say YouTubers that pop off in Clash Royale nowadays are more so like people that are really good at the game and showcasing like strategies. Like, for example, there's this dude. I think it wasn't it like Bradley Clash Royale or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe not actually. I don't fucking know. There's this B-Rad or whatever. This guy, I think he's a Clash Royale YouTuber. There's a whole bunch, but I feel like a lot of them are like people that are pretty good at the game. B-Rad, yeah. Not Bradley, my bad, sorry. Brad lost his creator code, pretty sure for critiquing level 15. Well, if someone loses the creator code for giving critique on the game, doesn't that say something more about the development team than it does about the creator? Because I feel like this is the reason why the game is failing so badly. If the team can't take criticism or they can't listen to feedback like they say they want to, then the game is inevitably going to fail because who are they appealing to? The players, right? Like, for whatever fan base, whatever part of the fan base is left, that's who they should be catering to say, hey, this is an incentive to keep playing the game, to show you that we still listen to your feedback and we want your feedback to make it better. Because it's in the shitter right now. I'm serious. Brad does critique OJ. Okay. Oh, like I said, with OJ, I can't really say because I don't watch him too much, but I don't know. I don't keep up with Clash Royale content creators. I'll be honest, because I don't even play the game. So, but I think Clash Royale dev team really needs to take a hard look in the mirror and change some stuff. Is it the dev team or the PR team that doesn't want the criticism? I don't know. I mean, it could be either. It could be one. It could be both. I'm not sure. The thing is, regardless of who doesn't want to take the criticism, the fact that collectively they're like, okay, think about it this way: both the dev team and the PR team represent Clash Royale. If one is not saying, if it doesn't matter who, but if either one of them are not saying anything about the game or the state of the game, they're not communicating with their players and the player base, I think that's a bad look for them in general. Like, it doesn't matter who doesn't want the criticism. They both represent Clash Royale. Because both of them, well, not both of them, the dev team has the ability to change the mechanics in the game, but the PR team, I guess you can appeal more to the player base that way. I think, yeah, regardless, this is the big reason why their game is failing. You know, like it's not a healthy look. And honestly, like if you compare it to like Clash of Clans, for example, Clash of Clans is succeeding a lot more because they actually do listen to their team, or not team, the player base. They actually do want the criticism and the feedback. They do talk to content creators to change the game, or maybe ask for ideas on how they can make things more fun. But I mean, Clash of Clans is not perfect, but it's definitely like 5 steps ahead in the right direction than Clash Royale is. Dev team makes the changes, but are they the ones making the decisions on what to change? I don't know. I mean, you have to look at the inner workings of their team. I don't know the specifics of who changes what specifically, or how they decide to change certain things, but I know that at the very least, every person working as part of the team for Clash Royale has a say or an opinion on what they think, how they think the game should be going, moving forward. Um, like you'd be crazy not to think that they don't have an input, or they don't have a say in collectively what they think is best for the game, because they clearly do. I mean, they work on the game. You have to have some kind of opinion on it, and I feel like Clash Royale just unfortunately is not hitting. It's not hitting the nail in the right places, I guess. That's the best way I can put it. But I stopped playing the game a long time ago. So anything concerning the Clash Royale community, I don't really follow as closely. And yeah, this video is kind of reinforcing the exact reason why.
It's probably worthless in their eyes so long as they keep making money. It doesn't help that TV Royale is run by 2 random people that I've only started seeing popping up recently, and even so, any jokes or banter between them seems uncomfortably forced and scripted. Not only that, but I still don't have a clear idea of who Clash Royale's community manager is at this point, if there even is one. I know that the person who replaced Rubium left, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't blame them. It's often hard to be the voice of a community when the developers behind you just refuse to listen to their complaints, and once again, Clash Royale developers are digging their heads into the sand and choosing radio silence above actually fixing the game, choosing to neglect it and actually allowing it to decay unlike anything before, to the point where the progression in the game has been fully RNGified, and that barely anything in Clash Royale itself holds any form of substance or fun anymore. When you neglect a game like this and succumb to ignorance, choosing your own voices and opinions above the decision of the community, it can sometimes lead to greatness if you're confident in your own ideas. But if literally everyone is telling you that you've made such a terrible update to the point where your own player base is boycotting the game, it's better to do something about it instead of just sitting there. But they just sit there, they always will. It baffles me how delusional Clash Royale's development team is being about this, especially because the explanation and theory surrounding Tencent having their grip over the game doesn't exactly make much sense. When the whole point of making the game profitable is to ensure that it's as enjoyable as possible. Although in all fairness, Tencent does have a reputation of getting their hands on games and slowly turning them into shit. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some involvement there too.
This is a publicly traded company. They serve the company's stock price, right? Whatever makes the company worth more at the end of the fiscal year or quarter. I don't know anything about Clash Royale. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Yeah, I mean that's fair, but like I said, I mean the thing about Clash Royale is that, like I said earlier, a lot of their player base dipped off of like the terrible updates they've been making, the balance changes that they've been making and implementing in the game, or just like the direction that they decide to take the game. They definitely isolate a chunk of the player base, but I know they're really greedy because if you logged into Clash Royale, I guarantee you're going to be like hit with a bunch of packages that they want you to buy, or deals that they say is like a 10 times deal, but it's really not. And they've tried, like I've seen this kind of strategy over the years, like 2-3 years ago when they added the what is it? They have the battle pass, but then they have the diamond pass, which is literally just a pay to win bullshit. It's $12. And you quite literally can obtain cards that you wouldn't otherwise be able to if you were in, like, let's say, a lower arena. At some point, you can very clearly see their transition from making the game about the players versus making the game about money. That's a big reason why most of the players stop playing the game. And right now, apparently, it's going through another thing, but, I don't know. One whale is worth 1,000 minnows. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, but all I can say is, like, to be fair, if you ask me, I would tell you I would say who's still playing Clash Royale in 2025, but to take it a step further, who's actually paying in Clash Royale in 2025. Because I could understand back then, but now I don't feel like the game is anywhere near worth what it used to be in terms of fun, in terms of engagement, fairness, and balance. And I feel like if you pay in 2025, I don't know. I think that's still a loss. I know it's pay to win, but I think you lose either way. Maybe the only ones left are the ones paying. Possibly. I mean, regardless, it's your money. You can do what you want with it. I disagree with like how they took the game, but I can't stop someone from paying because they want to play it or they want to pay. You know, that's their decision, but I would not do it.
Shrink it. People love to poke fun at squad busters for being one of Supercell's failures, but at least in spite of the small player base, it can be fun to play once in a while. However, I will happily laugh at Clash Royale, which used to fly close to the sun in regards to how hot and popular the game was back then during its golden age, only for Supercell, Tencent and Clash Royale's developers to ruin the game through ignorance and the drive to make money from simplicity. This radio silence can't be profitable. You can't make money off people who already know you're not listening anymore and therefore abandon the game like they've abandoned any form of effort involving fixing the various issues that plague the game. This is intentional ignorance that has taken place over the span of 2 years, and Clash Royale must be held accountable, even in death. It's extremely saddening to see that Clash Royale has come to such a state, and although the game isn't dead just yet, it wouldn't surprise me if the player base finally abandons the game in the next few months thanks to another controversial update, at least if this one doesn't completely kill the game. If anything, it's surprising to see how resilient Clash Royale's player base can be, but with the views for the game tapering off on YouTube, player counts dropping and popularity waning, it won't be long until Clash Royale is nothing more than a happy memory that got poisoned by a group of predatory developers who sought to profit from that nostalgia. As I said in my last video, I'm now officially done with making Clash Royale content, and this is going to be the send-off video that I was debating making. If you're subscribing for more Clash Royale content, don't. I'm not going to be making any more Clash Royale videos moving forward. Instead, I'm transitioning my content to Clash of Clans because I cannot be asked to pour my effort into producing content for this dumpster fire of a game anymore, especially when I actually enjoy playing Clash of Clans. Continuing to create Clash Royale content will mean the death of my YouTube channel and many other creators alike if they don't move on. However, if you've enjoyed this video and are looking forward to seeing more videos from myself as a creator, such as videos about Clash of Clans and Supercell's library of games more generally, I encourage you to subscribe and join me on this journey. Liking this video would be appreciated.
Alright, that was Clash Royale's deserved death, apparently. I'll leave the link there if anybody wants to watch it. And go check it out. See the original creator. But yeah, Clash Royale, huh?